Welcome to our introductory course on Eternalism, the philosophy rooted in the eternal worlds. Unit 1, Making the Implicit Explicit. This beginner's course on the philosophy of Eternalism is based on a series of lectures I developed and co-taught as a guest instructor in an upper division philosophy course at Brigham Young University, often taught alternately during the spring and summer terms from 2004 to 2010. The course evolved over time, and numerous requests have since been made to preserve and update the original material to better fit today's social, cultural, religious, and political landscape. This course is my effort to fulfill that request. With that said, let us begin. Notice the caption, "We LDS have the everlasting gospel, so why interject the philosophy of eternalism?" Take note of the question mark, which raises the issue of whether the everlasting gospel aligns with the philosophy of eternalism, and vice versa. In this unit, we will address this issue. Consider these words of Brigham Young: "The philosophy of the heavens and the earth, of the worlds that are, that were, and that are yet to come into existence, is all in the gospel that we have embraced." Elsewhere, he explains, "There is no true philosophy in existence which is not embraced in the gospel. It belongs to the gospel. It is a part of the gospel. Every true philosopher, so far as he understands the principles of truth, has so much of the gospel, and so far he is a Latter-day Saint, whether he knows it or not." And then we have these words of Elder John A. Whitsoe: "The Church embraces all truth, welcomes it, seeks it, and places it rationally in the scheme of divine philosophy." You might wonder, if the everlasting gospel already holds all truth, why not just stick with the gospel? Why have a course on eternalism? Here's the key point we want to stress and emphasize again and again. Eternalism does stick with the gospel. It doesn't replace or add anything new to it. Instead, eternalism makes what's implicit in the gospel clear and explicit. Let me explain. In our gospel teachings, we have an implicit but not explicit understanding of this divine philosophy. Eternalism doesn't add to or replace the gospel. It simply makes the reality-based nature of the gospel explicit rather than implicit, bringing clarity to this foundational aspect. Let me explain further. Latter-day Saints clearly understand the gospel's Christ-centered and covenant-based nature, but its reality-based nature often remains vague or only implied. Yet this reality-based aspect is crucial and foundational to our faith. Eternalism aims to make this reality-based nature clear and explicit. So when someone asks, why not just stick with the gospel, we can confidently say, eternalism is all about sticking with the gospel. Now let me illustrate this point further. Imagine 4 blurry, indistinct images of a zebra that offer only a vague sense of what it looks like. Now, contrast that with a sharp, clear snapshot that gives a full and explicit understanding. Similarly, eternalism isn't about changing or adding to the gospel. It's about transforming what's implied into something unmistakably clear, highlighting the gospel's often overlooked, reality-based nature. The core message of eternalism is that reality serves as the foundation of the everlasting gospel in our faith. This means that every Latter-day Saint should understand the gospel as both Christ-centered and reality-based. Elder John A. Whitsoe made this clear when he stated, "The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints deals with eternal realities," and emphasized that the gospel is founded on tangible and eternal things and relationships. No wonder Elder Whitsoe confidently declared, "The gospel may be said to be the philosophy of eternalism." The purpose of this course on eternalism for beginners is not to replace or overshadow the gospel's Christ-centered and covenant-based nature. Instead, it aims to firmly ground these essential aspects in reality, making the gospel's reality-based nature clear and explicit, rather than leaving it merely implied. This ends this Unit 1 presentation. Thank you for watching. Join us for Unit 2, where we address the question, what is eternalism? And be sure to take the Unit 1 overview quiz to deepen your understanding of the gospel and the philosophy of eternalism.